Welcome to our webinar. My name is Astrid Morfitt. I'm the Associate Registrar, International Recruitment and Admission here at the University of Guelph. We're super excited to welcome you to our Discover STEM Programs webinar. We're going to provide you with a lot of wonderful information about the University of Guelph, about our STEM programs, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. You will have an opportunity to meet our program experts, to meet many of our current international students, and just learn a lot about what the University of Guelph has to offer when it comes to STEM. So there are many opportunities for you to get involved throughout today's webinar. I would encourage you to remain in the webinar throughout the presentations, because at the end you will receive an email that will allow you to apply to the University of Guelph with an application fee waiver. So outside of applying for free and hearing from us very quickly, what you will also have an opportunity to do is utilize the Q&A at the bottom of your screen throughout the webinar. Please, I do encourage you to put in any questions that you would like information on, to engage with our program experts as well as our current international students, and to learn about all of the amazing things that we have waiting for you at the University of Guelph. So when it comes to the University of Guelph, there are a lot of different things that we would like you to discover. So we have over 30,000 undergraduate students at the university. Of those 30,000 students, approximately 2,200 are international students from 140 different countries around the world. We're the top 6 comprehensive university in Canada. And we offer state-of-the-art facilities, as well as top-notch, world-renowned research. And the reason we're able to do that is because we're ranked #1 in Canada for research dollars. So we are receiving a lot of assistance from the government and from many other areas to allow us to not only recruit amazing faculty members, but also encourage those faculty members to be able to do research. And you get to benefit in so many different ways by either taking part in that research, learning from that faculty, and also taking advantage of all of the different facilities that we're able to provide you with that are used for the research. 92% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation, and many of our students receive employment opportunities before they even graduate. So we will talk about all of those opportunities and how you can make the best of your time at the University of Guelph. When it comes to our programs within STEM, we rank very, very high. So we're #1 in Canada, #5 in North America, and #8 in the world for veterinary medicine. So the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, or DVM program, is offered at the University of Guelph, and it is not a direct entry program, so you will learn more about that, but you are required to study for 2 years within an undergraduate degree program before being able to apply and be admitted to DVM. We're #1 in Canada and #16 in the world for agricultural sciences. So not only do we teach our students about agriculture from the perspective of producing, growing, but also manufacturing and improving all of the different systems and infrastructures as well that are associated with agriculture. And you will learn more about that during our program-specific sessions after this welcome session. We're #1 in Canada, #2 in North America, as well as #3 in the world for animal sciences. So you might be aware that we have a lot of programs on campus that have to do with animals. Animal sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, zoology, as well as learning about animals from a different perspective. So from an agriculture perspective, from a scientific perspective, and even a business perspective. So a lot of different ways to utilize your passion and your experience that you gain at Guelph. We're also #1 in Canada, #9 in North America, and #15 in the world for nutrition and food science. So outside of us being amazing at sciences and offering a plethora of different programs that are related to food science, nutrition, so growth of food, manufacturing of food, development and improvement, we also are known as the best food university in the country. And that is going for 10 years plus in a row, and we'll talk about food a little bit later on. So our beautiful campus takes about 10 minutes for you to walk from one end to the other end of the campus. What it provides you with is a lot of amazing infrastructure, some older, some new, a lot of green space, quiet space where you can walk through the campus, take advantage of running into your classmates, your friends, your faculty members, and staff from around the campus. And also, we're located in the center of the city of Guelph. So you get the benefit of both worlds of having a self-contained university where you can work, you can study, you can live, but also being able to walk off campus very easily or hop on a city bus to be able to explore the city of Guelph itself. So these are some of the popular spots on our campus, depending on what you're interested in. Of course, the library is important, but also checking out some of our sporting events, going to the Arboretum to go for long walks, to explore nature and just to be able to relax, going to the athletic center, and just taking advantage of all the different spaces on campus where you can study, you can relax with friends, take some time to yourself, and just really take full advantage of all the different resources at the university. So when it comes to STEM facilities, you're going to learn a lot more during the different sessions. One thing I wanted to let you know is that the sessions will be recorded. So if you are interested in attending more than one session, clearly you can go from one to the other, but what you can also do is stay in one for the duration of today's webinar and then take advantage of watching the other recordings at a later time as well. We're going to talk to you about all the different STEM facilities that we have around the campus, how they're utilized, what the students' experience is by being able to take advantage of them, how they're integrated into your academic programming, and also how you might be able to get part-time positions and or research assistantships in these particular STEM facilities as well. So definitely a lot of great information will be covered today. So the city of Guelph is basically surrounding our campus. So we are a quiet campus. There's not a lot of vehicles going through our campus outside of people who work there and or live there, but you are surrounded by the city itself. So you really get the opportunity to take in the culture of our city and to take advantage of all of the opportunities such as work opportunities, getting involved, volunteering, going to different events, and just really making the best of your time at the university and within the city of Guelph. So when it comes to our city, we are one of Canada's top 10 places to live. There's a lot happening, a lot of great things to do, and a lot of different ways to get involved. So we're going to chat about a few of those just to give you a taste of what to expect. So we have approximately 153,000 people who live in the city of Guelph. And remember, we have about 30,000 undergraduate students who attend the University of Guelph. Our unemployment rate is among the lowest in Canada, and that is extremely helpful to you as you navigate part-time employment opportunities on or off campus, as well as full-time work opportunities during your time off, or if you're in co-op and you're looking to fulfill your work terms that are part of your academic journey. And we'll chat about that in a little bit. There's a perfect blend of nature and city with modern and traditional architecture. So a lot of places to go shopping, restaurants, a lot of different ways that you can just hop on and off the bus with your student card and explore the city. You can explore nature. You can go and take advantage of outdoor skating, as well as a lot of the different music and cultural festivals that are happening throughout the year. At this time of year, you can also watch the colors change in the trees. Everything is going from green to yellow, orange, red. It is very vibrant. It is very beautiful. And you can see it throughout the city and the surrounding areas as well. So all in all, there are a lot of great things to do throughout the city, throughout the year. And then one of the greatest things that we're very proud of is that we're ranked as one of Canada's top 3 safest cities. And what that means is that you can be confident walking off campus, exploring the city, going to work, going to eat, hang out with your friends, and know that you're going to be safe. So when it comes to our STEM programs, or really programs at the University of Guelph, is we want to provide you with as much flexibility as possible, dependent on your degree and major of interest. So what we do is we allow you to create and build your best degree. And what I mean by that is we have 16 degree programs. So that would be like your Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Mathematics, and so on. Within those degree programs are majors, so main areas of academic focus. So, for example, biological science. So, you would be focusing primarily on that area as a major. Sometimes your program will allow you the opportunity to have a double major, or in many cases, a minor. So, you could complete a degree in Bachelor of Science with a main focus in, let's say, biological science and a small focus in psychology. And what that allows you to do is really focus on the different passions that you have, build your own degree, and make sure that not only are you taking advantage of focusing on different areas that are of interest to you, but also differentiating yourself from other students who are completing degrees at other institutions as well. So why STEM at U of G? You're going to learn so many reasons why, but what I'd like you to know is that we have amazing support on campus, amazing faculty and staff. We're here to make sure that you get the best out of your degree, that we're preparing you for the future, that we're building you, and that each year you're at the university, you have the ability to grow, explore, find out exactly what you want to do as your career and or future academic aspirations. And we provide you with a lot of different opportunity to get hands-on experience. So that is the key. Not only are you learning academically, so focusing on theory, you're also doing a lot of hands-on work, a lot of project work, collaboration amongst different students and different programs. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to really grow and make the best of your degree. But definitely go and join the program-specific sessions where you will learn not only from our program experts, but also from our current international students about what makes U of G the place to be for STEM. So one unique program that we offer at the University of Guelph is called the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. So sometimes we have students who are equally passionate about arts and about science. And instead of asking them to choose one versus the other, they can actually equally focus on both. So I have had past students who have worked within our international recruitment and admission department who were interested in, let's say, neuroscience and classical studies. Not generally a combination that you would see very often, but they were able to complete a degree where they focused on both areas equally, and they graduated with a degree in Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. So something to explore if you do have a variety of different interests that you're trying to collaborate on. So I spoke briefly about the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. We do have current students who are in the DVM program as well as our program expert in one of our sessions. So if this is the program of interest to you, I encourage you to definitely go and speak with them. We have the #1 vet school, top 10 in the world. We're accredited. We provide students with a lot of hands-on experience. We provide students with an elevated experience. Our DVM student group is very tight-knit. There are a lot of supports, but they also have opportunities to support you during those first couple of years of your undergraduate degree so that you can learn from current students and what their journey was when they were applying to the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program, what the selection process is like, how they were able to get involved and gain that experience that they needed, and just why they chose to be veterinarians. I know sometimes students decide this at a very young age, sometimes they might decide that at a later age. So we definitely have a lot of support systems, a lot of hands-on experience, and as I said, current students who can speak to all of our STEM programs, including DVM. As you can see, the OVC alumni have 100% employment rate as well, so that is fantastic, where you know that you will have a job after you graduate. And that is the case with many of our programs, especially if you're involved in co-op and you have the ability to meet with employers, show them what you're made of, gain that experience and really more clarity about the type of company you want to work for, the type of job you want to do after graduation as well. So speaking of a co-op, many of our programs at the University of Guelph offer the co-op opportunity. This is an opportunity for you not only to gain paid work experience in Canada, but also to go and work for different companies or in different departments. Maybe you want to try healthcare and then try the government and then try the public versus private sector, the financial sector, and so on. So you really have the opportunity to work and complete anywhere between 3 and 5 paid work terms. They are generally 4 or 8 months long. We have about 70 undergraduate programs or majors that offer the co-op option for you to utilize. And over 5,000 of our students are currently in co-op. I'm super excited to inform you that we have just moved up to the second largest university co-op program in Ontario, and we're the fifth largest university co-op program in Canada. And what that means is not only do we offer co-op, we do it really, really well. We have a support system. You will take Co-op 1100, which is a course where the professor will teach you how to create a cover letter, a resume, how to search for jobs, how to apply for jobs and interview for jobs. You will also have a co-op coordinator who will guide you, who specializes in your program and in those networking opportunities with employers around the world. So it will provide you with an opportunity to earn anywhere between $7,417 and upwards of $21,000 per work term. And remember, you will complete 3 to 5 work terms during your degree program. So that's upwards of about $80,000 in throughout your degree. That not only, as I said, allows you the opportunity to test all the different careers, but to network, make connections, gain valuable work experience in Canada, but also get paid and help offset the cost of your education. Many students are offered employment before they even graduate because these employers have had an opportunity to have you work for them. They can see exactly what you are made of, but you're also having the opportunity to learn about them, their company, and if it is the place you want to work. So these are just a few samples of the employers that where our co-op students work. We do have thousands of employers that we work with very closely, and then sometimes students come with their own connections through their family, friends, and so on. And we can help you navigate that process as well. So the opportunities are endless, and we just want to make sure that you're gaining hands-on experience that is related to your program, and that after you graduate with the co-op designation from the University of Guelph, it sets you up for success in the future as well. So co-op sequencing is different dependent on the program and major that you're in. Generally, it does take 5 years for students to complete a co-op designated program. And what that means is that academically, outside of Co-op 1100, really it is the same academic program if you're completing a 4-year honors degree or a 5-year co-op degree. It's just that we need to infiltrate those 3 to 5 work terms into your degree. And because of that, it ends up taking you 5 years to graduate with a co-op degree. So here's an example of a Bachelor of Engineering, the major in Engineering Systems and Computing. You can see your first academic year, you're studying full-time. You do not do any co-op. Your first summer is off. Then your second year, you're studying full-time. And then your summer, you're working full-time. Then you come back for an academic semester, and then you work for 2 work terms. So it could be 2 different opportunities or 1 opportunity for 8 months. Then you come back for your 4th year, which is a full academic year. You work that summer as well as the next fall, and then you finish off with an academic term. So when you're in the academic terms, what it means is that you're studying full-time. You do have the ability to legally work on or off campus on a part-time basis during your academic terms. You can work full-time during your off terms, and then during your work terms, you would be working full-time. So that's generally 35 to 40 hours per week. So just to give you a sense of how that works as well. So in regards to co-op earnings, it does depend on the program that you're in, the major, the work opportunity that you find, but also dependent on if you're a junior or a senior co-op student, which means how many work terms have you completed? Because the more experience you have, the higher the opportunity is for you to earn higher amounts of money. So these are just from last year, the opportunities that our students have found. And this is specific to how much you would earn per work term. And then remember, you would be completing 3 to 5 work terms during your degree program. So funding your education is extremely important, and I'm very excited to inform you that this year we're offering a brand new slate of scholarships to international students. So we have the President's International Entrance Scholarship, which is a one-time scholarship. This is based on your academic average, and this is for high school students. So if you're being admitted to the University of Guelph as a high school student, depending on your admission average, you can earn anywhere between $1,500 and $4,500 towards your education. After that, we offer the International Tuition Scholarship. It's a one-time $2,000 scholarship. We also are offering the University International Scholarship, which is renewable. So it is $5,000 in your first year. So as long as you receive an offer of admission and you're an international fee-paying student, you're guaranteed a $5,000 renewable scholarship, which could be renewed in second, third, and fourth year at $5,000 each year. You are required to maintain an 80% average. So each academic year is independent of itself when it comes to the renewability criteria. We also have the Dean's International Scholarship, which is also renewable and awarded to you at the point of an offer. So that would be $2,500 each year for up to 4 years, as long as you meet the renewability criteria. Then we have the Dr. Franco J. Vaccarino President Scholarship. This is the only scholarship that actually requires an application. The deadline, as you can see, is January 23rd, 2026. The Dr. Franco J. Vaccarino President Scholarship is on top of any of the other scholarships you're eligible for, and the total amount awarded to you would be $42,500 over 4 years, plus a research assistantship in the summertime. So there are a lot of amazing opportunities. So I definitely encourage you to not only apply to the University of Guelph, but also apply for the President Scholarship before the January 23rd deadline. So these are all for high school, current high school or recent high school graduates. If you are attending a post-secondary institution, so a college or a university, at the point of an offer, if you're an international fee-paying student, we would automatically award you a one-time $10,000 international transfer scholarship. So you don't need to remember all of these things once you apply to the university, and we can determine that you're eligible for an offer of admission. We will automatically inform you of any and all scholarships that you're eligible for. So in regards to our ability to support your journey, we are here every step of the way. Today, as I mentioned, I encourage you to utilize the Q&A session. Ask any of the questions that you have. We have our staff and students here for you. We also have a lot of support on campus throughout your application and admission journey, once you arrive at the university, all the way upwards and post-graduation. So we have teams across the university who are here to support you. One of the very important teams to support you outside of recruitment and admission would be the Global Pre-Arrival Support Team that we call the GPS team. So C and Madhulika are here. We would put you in touch with them as soon as you receive an offer of admission. They will be able to guide you throughout the journey in regards to applying for your study permit, preparing all the required documents, arriving in Canada, knowing which documentation you need, what to pack, and just making sure that once you arrive on campus, we have the support system throughout your time at the University of Guelph. And those are called the International Student Advisors. So they will be here for you throughout the years that you are at Guelph. We also provide guaranteed housing. So if you're an international fee-paying student from outside of Canada, we can guarantee you housing for the duration of your undergraduate degree, plus your first year of a master's degree. If you're a domestic fee-paying student and you're applying to the University of Guelph from outside of Canada, we can guarantee you housing for your first year of university. The only thing I ask you to do is to make sure that you submit your application and your $750 deposit by June 1st, 2026. You're also required to accept your offer of admission in order to be considered for the guarantee. One thing that I mentioned earlier was campus food, and don't get hungry looking at these pictures, but I just want you to know that we are known as #1 for campus food. We also have the ability to assist you with any of your dietary preferences, restrictions. We have chefs on campus. We are very much into food, not only academically, but also to allow you to be able to focus, study, and make the best of your time at the University of Guelph by fueling your body as well. So in regards to your next steps, when we first joined, I provided you with some information in regards to the application fee waiver. So make sure that you remain within the webinar from start to finish. So attend today's webinar. After the webinar, you will receive an email that will allow you to complete the pre-admission form. Once approved, you will receive the application fee waiver. We will give you a decision on your eligibility for admission as well as any of the scholarship. And you will have the ability to get access to our admission portal to submit any additional information as well. So now it's time for the program sessions. As I mentioned, we have multiple sessions. They're all going to be recorded. So just make sure that you join the session you're interested in and then that you watch the recordings once they're shared with you by email in a few days so that you can take advantage of learning about all the different amazing programs and facilities and opportunities that we have at Guelph. So the sessions are food, environment, and agriculture, engineering, health sciences, which is focusing on animal and human sciences, and then computing. Thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend ahead, and we look forward to seeing you in the next sessions momentarily.
Okay, hello to everyone that's just joining us. This is the Agriculture, Environment, and Food breakout room as part of the Discover Your Degree series in STEM. My name is Christine. I am the OAC Liaison Manager, which is Ontario Agricultural College. We just say OAC as an abbreviation for short. I was also a student at Guelph, so I did my undergrad and my master's here at Guelph. So I'm what's called a lifer. I've been here for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you about our programs and then talking with our great panel of students that we have joining us here today as well to hopefully answer some of your questions. I'm going to pass it over to Joe, who's going to go through information about the OAC and our programs that relate to these thematic areas. And then when Joe is complete, we're going to bring on our 3 international student panelists, and we're going to talk more about their experiences at the University of Guelph and within these programs. And then we're going to answer some of the questions that you have too. So please feel free to use that Q&A tool on your screen, and we'll get through your questions at the end of the presentation portion. So Joe, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you all for being here today and taking the time to learn with us about the different opportunities that the University of Guelph has in food, environment, and agriculture. I'm Joe Hildebrand. I work for the Ontario Agricultural College as the recruitment coordinator. Yeah, we're going to be going through a short presentation just about the Ontario Agricultural College and the different programs that are offered there. The OAC is internationally renowned for its research, teaching, and knowledge extension in the areas of food, agriculture, communities, and the environment. The OAC encompasses a community of 3,700 diploma, undergraduate, and graduate students, as well as over 35,000 alumni. It was established in 1874 and was one of the founding colleges of the University of Guelph. Therefore, we have a really deep and rich history. We have programs across 8 degree programs, 15 majors, and 6 associate diplomas. And the OAC is also rated #1 in Canada for food and agricultural sciences. Other universities often separate into faculties. We do things a little differently at the University of Guelph and call our faculties colleges. Therefore, we are the Faculty of Agriculture as the Ontario Agricultural College, or we'll refer to it as OAC just because it rolls off the tongue a little bit better. And something unique to OAC is that we have programs offered across two campuses, one at the Guelph campus located in Guelph, Ontario, and then another campus in Ridgetown, Ontario, that's about 2 hours southwest of Guelph. And we're going to hop in and talk a little bit about some experiential learning opportunities. I'm sure we'll hear much more about these opportunities from our panelists a little bit later on. But experiential learning opportunities are a big priority for several programs and courses, including programs within the OAC. So some of these opportunities include applied research courses, certificate programs, community engaged learning courses, course integrated experiential learning, field courses, undergraduate research assistantships, and internships. Co-op is another experiential learning opportunity that I think we're going to get to learn a little bit more about in the next slide. And it's a really incredible opportunity for students to take part in when they come to the University of Guelph. As a co-op student, you gain relevant work experience, build professional networks, and develop essential interpersonal skills needed to succeed in the workplace. And you gain all of those while getting paid and earning your degree. In co-op, you will also have an in-class course to help you develop a resume and interview skills, and then you're also assigned a co-op coordinator to assist you when you're going through the employment process. To give an example, here is the co-op schedule for the food science program. You can see that you don't have to work your first term. You don't have to your first work term until the end of the second year. And the second work term comes after the third year and spans over 3 semesters, making it a year long. And that gives you a more in-depth experience at the specific position or company that you get a co-op opportunity through. Now here's just an overview of all of the programs offered in OAC, and we're going to go into more detail about the programs in the areas of food, environment, and agriculture offered at the University of Guelph. So like I said, here's an overall look of the degree programs offered by the Ontario Agricultural College. And then we have asterisks beside the ones that are offered, that co-op is offered. And then we have here a slide about the Bachelor of Science programs. Specifically, the ones that we're going to be looking at through OAC would be the animal biology program and the food science major. And then the first set of degree programs that we're going to explore a little bit more in depth will be the thematic category of the environment. And so the first program that we're going to talk about is the Bachelor of Bioresource Management, majoring in Environmental Management. This degree, the Bachelor of Bioresource Management, or BBRM for short, is unique to the University of Guelph. It is a combination of business and sciences, and in this program, students combine environmental sciences with business and economics. Students in the environmental management major will learn through practical and theoretical experience to grow their understanding of environmental science and technology and business. Students will develop leadership and problem-solving skills through field trips, experiential learning in the workplace, and independent research. And co-op is also available for this program. And the next program that we're going to be talking about is the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science. And that is a unique program because you enter it undeclared, which means that your first year you are taking light courses with the rest of your cohort that is in the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science. And after that first year, students pick from 5 majors, including ecology, environment and resource management, environmental economics and policy, environmental sciences, and the Earth Observation and Geographical Information Systems major. This degree also has a co-op option, and in the ecology major, students learn about ecosystems and explore conservation issues like habitat loss and animal endangerment. The environment and resource management students will approach environmental science from a social science perspective. Environmental economics and policy integrates economics and law into environmentally based problems and studies how markets and policies can influence human behavior. The environmental science major explores the biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. And finally, students in the Earth Observation and Geographic Information Systems major will gain a foundation in physical geography and environmental science while also enjoying hands-on learning in the rapidly growing field of geographic information science. Field courses and independent study projects are a highlight of these degree programs, and various courses use the environment and outdoors as their classroom. And then our next program that we're going to be discussing would be our Bachelor of Indigenous Environmental Science and Practice, which is a science degree program with an environment focus that blends Western science with Indigenous knowledge systems. Courses will address Indigenous knowledge systems, land-based teachings, and Indigenous settler relations in Canada. It includes theoretical and applied aspects of environmental science, technology, management, land use, and policy development practices. Some of the highlights include field trips to Indigenous communities, land-based instructions, interactive labs, and participation in discussion circles and ceremony. The co-op stream is also available with this program as well. And then students graduating from these programs across all majors could pursue a career as an ecologist, environmental compliance officer, or environmental educator. We will be sharing a little bit more in-depth breakdown of career opportunities a little bit later. We also have program information nights that we are talking about most of these majors if you'd like to sign up, but we'll talk about those a little bit later. Our next thematic category that we are going to explore are the OAC programs within the theme of plants and horticulture. So first, we are going to talk about the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture program. So like the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences, the first year of the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture degree program is common across all majors. And then after that first year, students will pick from 4 majors, and then 2 of which relate to plants and horticulture. So the first major that we are going to talk about is the major in horticulture. In this major, you'll learn how to successfully manage commercial greenhouses, horticultural production facilities, breed improved crop varieties, and enhance urban environment using plant species. Students will gain hands-on experience in greenhouse and will also have the option to conduct independent study projects or complete field courses. The co-op stream is also available for all the majors within the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture program. With this same degree is a major in crop science. So this program will provide the opportunity for students to learn about plant production industries while focusing on core agricultural sciences. This major allows students to apply the latest scientific technologies to solving current problems in agronomy and cropping. Independent study projects and field courses are also an option in senior years of study, and many courses include hands-on learning opportunities with greenhouses, grow rooms, or on crop farms. And again, co-op opportunity is available with this program. And then the final degree that is within the theme of plants and horticulture is the Bachelor of Science with a major in plant science. Students in the plant science major will explore plants through the studies of growth, development, and physiology. This program also offers hands-on learning in labs and through independent research courses and field trips. And I'm also happy to let you know that the co-op option is available for this program as well. Electives and restricted electives will shape the plant science major and allow students to focus on their interests. Some of these electives include weed science, issues in agriculture and landscape management, wine grape culture, plants, and environment and society, the world of viruses, plant anatomy, growth and development, and research products. And then students graduating from this program and major may pursue a career as a horticulturist, greenhouse facility manager, or crop production specialist. And then our next thematic category that we are going to explore in an OAC undergraduate degree program is the theme of agriculture. And then I believe that the next program that we are going to discuss, as mentioned before, is a part of that Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. And the major specific to that would be our animal science major. It's available within the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture degree, like I said, and the third major within this degree that we're going to talk about. So students in the animal science program will learn about modern animal agriculture and improvement of food quality and performance through selective breeding, good nutrition, and sound management. And again, co-op option is available for this major. Students graduating from this program and major may pursue a career in animal welfare, farm operations, animal nutrition, or government inspection. This theme encompasses our fourth and final major of the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, which is the major of Honors Agriculture. So Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, Honors Agriculture major is a combination of core agricultural science courses with a wide range of electives. International exchange or semester abroad opportunities are available, as well as independent research courses, field courses, and experiential learning credits. This program combines life sciences and agricultural practices with specialized skills and experiences. And as well, co-op option is available for this program. Students graduating from this program and major may pursue a career in marketing, research, analyzing agricultural literacy and advocacy, and agricultural technology. And then the next thematic category that we will be exploring will be the theme of food science. The Bachelor of Science with a major in food science is built on a foundation of core sciences, including chemistry, physics, and microbiology. Students in this program will explore food processing, product development, packaging, quality, and safety. And I also want to point out that the food science program is not culinary training or dietetic studies. Instead, it's its own field of study that incorporates elements of nutrition and cooking. This program has a co-op option available, and co-op is an incredible opportunity. We talked a little bit about it before, and it prepares students for future employment. Often our students that enroll in co-op will then have employment offers from their co-op employers before they're even graduated. Students graduating from this program and major may pursue a career in product development, formulation, and food technology. And then I believe this next slide is one of my last ones, and then we'll get to our panel and get to just talk with current students. But after all of these programs that we've shared with you this evening, you may be asking yourself, why study food, environment, and agriculture at Guelph? So why would you want to pursue a degree program within the areas of food, environment, and agriculture in the Ontario Agricultural College at the University of Guelph? Our first reason would be that the OAC is rated #1 for food and agriculture science in Canada. We also have a very welcoming community at the University of Guelph, but especially in OAC. An abundance of student clubs and activities make it easy to meet new people and have fun during your studies. For example, we have quite a few different clubs that we'll name off here: dairy, poultry, swine, and beef science clubs, botany club, weeds club, soil and crop science club, future vets club, animal science society, student federation of the OAC, varsity sports team, and intramurals, just to name a few. At each thematic program information nights, we're highlighting those extracurriculars that may be of interest to those certain given topics. And we went through quite a few already, but we have a couple more coming up that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later. And then due to our vast and strong alumni, there are over 687 awards given out to students in OAC programs each year, totaling over 1.5 million Canadian dollars in awards. As mentioned multiple times, experiential learning opportunities are a highlight of programs with OAC. And the last but certainly not least reason for why you might want to study in OAC is that there are 4 jobs for every one of our graduates entering the food and agricultural sector. There are tons of job opportunities, and many students receive offers of employment before they've graduated from their programs at the University of Guelph, due to the strong network within the agricultural industry. And then at this point, I believe my part of the presentation is over, and I'll hand it back over to Christine to introduce our panelists.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. So we're going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to bring on our panelists for you this morning. So we've got 3 international student panelists that are current students at U of G, and they're going to share more about their programs and experiences here at Guelph. So I'll first go to Wimweepa. If you want to introduce yourself this morning.
Hi everyone, my name is Bumipa. Sometimes also goes by Amy. I'm originally from Bangkok, Thailand, and I have just completed my Bachelor of Science, majoring in food science this summer. And currently I am pursuing my master's degree in animal bioscience at the University of Guelph.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Vedika?
Hi, everybody. My name is Vedika. I'm a third year environmental science co-op student here at the University of Guelph. I'm originally from Kenya, and I've always really been fascinated about the environment and how it interacts. So I'm really glad that I'm studying here at the University of Guelph.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. And then Umar.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Umar Faisal. I'm a third year student in the food science core program, and I'm from Kenya, and I'm very excited to be participating in this webinar.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. So a first and kind of easier question we're going to start things off with is why did you choose to come to the University of Guelph? And we'll start with Bumipa again.
Um, So one of the main reasons I chose the University of Guelph is because it's very well reputed for its like animal science and food science program. We have a lot of facilities and we have a lot of like hands-on learning experiences, which I can talk about in the like later if anyone has a question. And we also have like OVC, which is a vet school, which is also one of the paths that I was considering coming to University of Guelph.
Awesome. Thank you, Bumipa. And Vedika, same question for you.
I chose the University of Guelph because it has one of the strongest environmental science programs here in Canada. When I was researching, I was really drawn to how interdisciplinary it is because it combines science, social sciences, and hands-on learning opportunities such as field work and lab work. And there's also a real sense of community here. There's a huge community for international students, and Guelph also really encourages students to value both academics and personal growth.
Great. Thank you, Vedika. And Umar?
Yeah, so the reason I chose to come to the University of Guelph, just as the other panelists spoke about, is for the program, for the food science program and the agricultural program. It's very renowned there. So there's a lot of opportunities, different professors, different activities that one can do. I also joined it because of the environment. It's in Guelph. It has a nice student environment, very green. And yeah, so those was the main props.
Thank you very much. I think something really unique to the University of Guelph as well is that we also have a arboretum on campus. So the arboretum is a 400-acre green space that's right on campus, actually. And this space has a collection of gardens, walking trails, natural woodlands, wetlands, and meadows as well. And this is accessible to all students at Guelph and the community as well. To go have a walk-in, have a picnic, go study with your friends, just kind of unplug and get outdoors. And then a lot of classes will also use the Arboretum for teaching and resources as well. So Vedika, you might have had some classes at the Arboretum or done some coursework out there. Do you want to share more about kind of hands-on things or components of your program too?
Yeah, for on the hands-on aspects of it, one of the first year courses that I did in environmental science was Bio 1070. I believe it's I can't remember the name of the course, but it's in biodiversity. And we had to do field work in the dairy bush. It's also another place on campus where you can do field work. You can analyze different plants that are growing, analyze different trees and biodiversity there. That was a great course that I did because it really got me into the fieldwork side of it. Another arboretum, as it's mentioned, it's a great place to just do your research and also just have a relaxing time there. And also the Bovi greenhouse was also is a great place because for anybody doing environmental science, they'll be doing ENBS 1030, which is Introduction to Environmental Science. And for one of the experiments there, we need to do an experiment on fertilizers, which I had done in the greenhouse, and that was also a great experience.
Well done. That's great. There's lots of great hands-on courses within your program for sure. Bowie Greenhouse is also one of my favorite spaces on campus. It's like a tropical greenhouse. So in the winter, it's especially nice to go in there and just kind of feel like you're down south and warm and cozy in there because you pretend it's not snowing outside and just kind of unplug and enjoy the plants and the beauty that's in there. I want to chat about the transition moving from your home countries to Canada and Guelph, and what your experience was like. Romipa, how did you find that transition?
I had to say at the beginning, there's a lot of challenges being in a different country, experiencing different cultures, being in university, everything all at once. So it was a challenge at the beginning, but I also find university to be very welcoming. We have a lot of student diversity and a lot of support system. We have a lot of cultural clubs for students that helps you connect with everyone. And when you start building that sense of community, when you make more friends and learning more about the culture and being a university student, I find everything to be like a very smooth and enjoyable process.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Thank you. And Umar, what was your experience like?
Yeah, so my experience was quite nice. I lived in residence for my first year, so that really helps. We had a lot of start programs. I remember there was also the resident assistants that really helped us. And so I think there was a lot of also there was a lot of activities going on that allowed me to get used to student life quite quick. I think there was a lot of meet with different students. I remember in the residence that was a really good opportunity. And it really makes it easier for you to also understand different places in campus. The university campus is very big, so I think those opportunities allowed me to acclimatize better to the environment.
Yeah, that's great. The programs we have at the University of Guelph for beginning our studies are really helpful in getting yourself acclimated and comfortable and meeting people as well, because that's a really important part of feeling a sense of community is just meeting people that are like-minded and have a similar kind of interest as you as well. Vedika, what was your transition like moving to Canada and Guelph?
As both of the panelists previously said, it was definitely a adjustment at first, like moving from Kenya. It was my first time like being in the cold weather or getting adjusted to the pace of life here, and also being away from family for the first time. So the transition was difficult at first, but it also got easier, as Umar said. The residence was a great way for me to find my community as well. I was also living on residence in my first year, and just the residence assistants were very helpful. They always organize events so that you can meet people in your community as well, make those connections, make those relationships. And also being part of cultural clubs is also really helpful. There are a lot of various cultural clubs here on campus, and they always host events, cultural events, such as recently Diwali. One of the cultural events that happened was Diwali, and they always have community dinners that also helps you like find people here on campus and get involved. And Guelph really ends up feeling like home after some time.
That's key, is finding a place that makes you feel like home, and I'm really glad that Guelph has been able to do that for all of you as a student here on campus. I want to talk about things you're involved in on campus. So learning in classes is of course very important, but what you learn outside of the classroom too and your extracurriculars is also very important. And getting involved is a kind of piece of advice I give to all students as well, is getting involved is really important. It's really great to meet new people, meet like-minded people, kind of get experience outside of the classroom as well. And it might connect you to other employers or things and opportunities that you might want to have connections to after you graduate as well. So what kind of things are you involved in on campus, and how has student life been for you? I'll start with Amipa for this one.
Yeah, and was what you just mentioned earlier, Christina, I find a lot of my learning experience, like they stem from extracurricular and other projects in addition to the courses. I am in food science program and my experiences like relating to that um have been like product development, like for the most part. I was a part of the student lab project called Cannon Fire Hot Sauce, where we grows our peppers from seeds and transform them to a hot sauce, and we have a special flavors every year, which is what's special about the program because it allows like food science students to apply that knowledge from in class as such as like formulation, like food safety and everything into like a product that's being sold on market. So I think that's a great experience. And in addition to that, I've also been part of um she's making short courses and assist their production within like a dairy production plant. And that's a great experience because I have had classes related to that called like dairy production, dairy sciences, and being able to apply that knowledge in a real life setting and learning how to like operate machine. I think that's also like a very important part of being a food science student in addition to the theory and the knowledge that you learn in your classroom.
Thank you so much. The hot sauce project is one of my favorite things that you food science folks do. It sells out every year too. It's hard to get your hands on the hot sauce bottles. So good for you guys, and I love that that's a project you get to be part of. Umar, you're the same program. Any similar experiences to WIPA or different experiences as well?
Yes, a bit of different experiences. I've been a part of the work study program, which is in the university, that allows us to basically work in different departments in the university. So I was part of the international recruitment team, and this allowed me, I remember the good thing about the work study program is it's very flexible in between classes. Sometimes you have free time and you get the opportunity to get your shift and it's very flexible. But something important is you gain a lot of soft skills. I remember a lot of my communication skills, working, time management skills, and all this. And this really helps you when you're going for interviews for different corps. But I think the most important thing about the work study program is this, it gives you a lot of flexibility so you're enabled on the times in which you have more exams or you're more busy. They're very flexible with that. And when you're free, you also have a chance to work more. But also something important about the work study program, it also gives you the opportunity to learn about different departments. You can join different departments and you can also gain different types of experiences depending on the department that you are in while you're also studying.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing with the work study as well. Our team in OAC actually hires student staff every year as well. And it's really nice to work on campus because a lot of employers on campus will understand that you're a student first and that kind of comes first in what you're here for. So we understand that when you have exams or assignments or classes, we don't want you to skip any of that or put that aside. That's your first priority, and then work comes second. So I think working on campus is a really great opportunity to make sure that you're still focusing on your studies, but also getting that experience, getting paid while you're here for a job as well. Vedika, same question for you. How's student life been for you?
Student life has actually been one of my favorite parts of being here on campus. So as I mentioned earlier, I found my community through my residence assistant and my community. So I'm trying to do the same. I work as a residence assistant here on campus, and I help first year students adjust to university life, navigate their way through their courses, and just plan community events for them so that how I met my community, they can also meet their community. And in terms of clubs, I'm also I'm the manager of events for a club called UNICEF here in Guelph. And we organize fundraisers and awareness campaigns for global issues and raise funds for children in war-torn areas. And on top of that, I also work as a start navigator here on campus. And basically, I help transfer students navigate their way through university, help them connect with resources, and support them in any challenges that they might be having. And balancing everything can get busy, but as Umar rightly said, that it really helps you to improve on your soft skills, like because being involved in these opportunities on campus has been really rewarding as I've learned a lot of skills such as leadership, teamwork, and communication. And these are all transferable to co-op and skills like this are really valued in co-op because they want students to have these skills so that they can better succeed in the program.
Yes, thank you so much. You've had some very different experience from other students on campus too, and it's great that you've been part of organizations and groups that have been part of your journey as a student, and then you're giving back to the community as well by doing the same thing for other students that have come into campus as well. I want to chat about experiential learning as well in your courses. So we talked a little bit about it with Vedika about courses you've taken out in the Arboretum or Dairy Bush. I know in food science there are a lot of experiential learning opportunities within your classes too. Do you want to share more about those in your coursework that you found really interesting and hands-on? Umar, do you want to start us off?
Yes, Yeah, so the different courses, I think I took a food communication course and we had the opportunity to really delve into different issues and all. But the most important, I think, experimental learning I've got is through my co-op programs actually. Through my co-placements, I had an opportunity this summer to work for a food production company in Mississauga, and I remember a lot of what I was doing in the co-op placement was related to what I was learning in the class, especially like different concepts. I got to apply them in the placement. And this was really good as it gives you first a break from the academic semester, but it also allows you to gain more skills, gain understanding. I remember there's different aspects I was put into that as the semester, as the placement went, I better understood. And going back and then to the academic semester, you feel like you're really energized to go back to your program and, learn.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing about co-op. That's a big opportunity for a lot of students that are on campus too. There are a lot of programs that do have the co-op option and is a great opportunity for you to get that experience with the employer. And I also like to say it helps you figure out what you not only do want to do for your career afterwards, but also what you don't want to do. And that is also a really important part that people don't always think of. But it's nice to kind of rule some things out early before you actually jump into your career after you do graduate. Wenweipa, same question for you. What kind of experiential learning things have you done in courses within food science?
And to add on to what Umar said, I'll talk about like one of the upper year courses that I find most interesting and like the most beneficial to all food science students. It's one of the upper year course called Food Product Development. And this is by far my favorite course is like in my entire food science degree. It gives you a very hands-on experience from everything from market research, product development, actual developing the product, and then at the end of every winter semester, we hold what's called product development showcase, where we showcase our products and have like a small business pitch, and we present our products to a panel of judges, which are actual like external people who work in the industry, and you get the same experience as if you work in a company and you have developed a product, and you get to deal with everything from securing all like the sources, dealing with um uh like where you find your sources from, formulating the formula, packaging, every aspect of a product. And although it's not actually being marketed, but I think it's a great experience and it makes you really ready for when you step into that like workplace.
Yeah, that's really fun. It's great to kind of create a product from the ground up as well. And when you get to share it with a panel of people that are from the community or different businesses, that is a good opportunity as well because you're getting in front of people that could be your future employers. And like you said, not all products get to actually be marketed for real, but it could be. I mean, if someone saw it and liked it and wanted you to kind of move forward with it, that could be a pitch that you're giving to that employer for you to actually create in the future. So that's a really great opportunity. That's very hands-on. I did see a question in the Q&A as well that touched on if you have to move for co-op placements or are most of the co-op opportunities near the campus or city. Totally optional. There are co-ops everywhere, really, so you can either move or stay within Guelph if you wanted to. I know there are a lot of co-ops that are near the university campus or within the city of Guelph or commutable just outside of Guelph. But then there are some across Canada if you wanted to move as well. So totally optional depending on what you want to do and where the co-ops or the job opportunities are that you want to partake in as well. Okay, I want to chat about the city of Guelph as a whole. I love Guelph as a city, but I want to hear more about what living in the city of Guelph is like for each of you as well. We'll start with Vedika.
Guelph is a really small town, and um it's like a really small town, but there's also a lot for you to do. There are a lot of local cafes, farmer markets, and also a lot of like natural spaces, not just here on campus, but also out in the town. There are also a lot of river trails and streams where you can go and have a peaceful time. And there's also a lot of like community festivals that happen. And most of the time, I personally spend my time hanging out in the Arboretum because when the weather is usually nice. And I believe that for environmental science students and students in agriculture, Guelph is a great place because there's a lot of nature in the city, and it also gives students that balance between like gives students that space to like decompress while also being out in the city.
Yeah, I think something really unique to Guelph is that it is a big city, like overall population wise and space wise, but it feels like a small town just because there's so many little pockets of really cool parts in Guelph and neighborhoods that you can hang out on. And it's really quiet and really and you're out in the environment and in nature, so it feels really small, but then it actually is quite a big city. So there's lots of cool resources and things you can do and activities and restaurants and all of those great things as well, kind of in between the rivers and parks and green spaces. But what is Guelph or living in the city of Guelph been like for you?
So coming from Bangkok, Thailand, this is a very big switch, but in a very positive way because I love how close to nature and there's a lot of green spaces in Guelph and it's like a very peaceful city and like Betty had mentioned, one of my favorite place is the Guelph Farmers Market. I'm interested in art, so it's been like a very nice community, and there's a lot of parks around by the Speed River, and there's the Arboretum. There's a lot of green spaces that you can enjoy. There's a lot of trails, parks, and a lot of activities that you can do, like paddling along the river. There's a lot of activities outside of university that you can enjoy, but there's also a lot of spaces to hang out. Like as you mentioned, like Johnson Green is also a nice place to hang out in the summer, and taking a trail in the Arboretum is also a really nice experience.
That's great. The farmers market is really lovely in Guelph. And it's actually indoors. So if the weather is not very nice, it's quite favorable to be inside and kind of see what new things are going on. That means it also goes all year round, which is really nice as well. Umar, what has living in the city of Guelph been like for you?
Yeah, it's for me it's all about the nature. It's very green, it's very nice. And the good thing about this as a student is so many times maybe after your exams you can go take a stroll in the park or take a stroll in the even in campus we have a lot of places where it's very green for you. Something also good about Guelph is near the university, it's very accessible with the bus. You can go to almost all the near the mall, anything you want to do. So the accessibility is very good, especially in your first day when you're coming and you want to go try and check different places. Guelph downtown is also very beautiful. But I really like the nature and it really allows you to, connect with the environment and yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really great that you've enjoyed your experience at Guelph. I want to chat about programs again as well and what you enjoyed most about your degree program. And Vedika, we'll start with you. What have you enjoyed most about environmental sciences?
Mentioned about this earlier, but environmental science in this university is very hands-on. You're not just like sitting in lectures, but you're also constantly like in different courses out in fields and in labs, applying whatever you learn in those lectures. Like for example, I've personally done soil sampling um, and vegetation surveys out in the field, and which has helped me connect whatever theories that I learned in classrooms to like real ecosystems. And these courses also help us to think critically and like at the bigger picture of environmental issues connect to economics, policy, or community impact. And it's like big, like you're building a toolkit to actually solve like real problems in the real world, which has been really rewarding and like learning those skills that you will need in your professional career to combat those problems and try to find solutions. So it's been a really amazing experience for me so far. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing with even more skills.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I do think it's very important that you're applying what you're learning in the classroom too, because it really helps further enforce that knowledge and education. And it helps me at least remember as well. Same thing. If I learn something in the classroom, it's great to actually apply it in my career or job. And then I get to really learn it and kind of have that ingrained within me and soft skills. But same question for you. What do you like most about food science?
And I have mentioned this earlier, I find a lot of things that I do outside of class, like more experiential learning, very interesting. the projects that I worked on, the product development course, the Cannon Fire project, or other competition that I participated and applied the knowledge from class. I find that very useful and very interesting. One of them was Project Soy, which is not limited to food science student, but it's open to a lot of like disciplinary fields on campus, environmental science students as well. But as an OAC student, I think the part I enjoy most about being a food science student is definitely the College Royal Open House, which is a very big event that showcases all of the department within the OAC. And food science is it's also very active in this event. We have our annual milkshake sale, and that's also where we sell our Cannon Fire hot sauce and hot honey, and then we open our department building to like families, friends, and people in Guelph who are interested to see how like food are being manufactured. And I feel like that's one of the best outreach events, and it lets people learn a lot more about what food science is and showcasing all our resources and projects that all the students have worked on.
I was really glad you brought up College Royal because I was going to ask you about it if you hadn't brought it up yourself. So thank you for sharing about that. College Royal is a really, really fun thing that happens every year on campus. It's actually one of the oldest traditions or oldest open houses run by students on campus in Canada. So it's a really neat event. It's been running for over 100 years. It's really fun to kind of see what things that students want to showcase and different programs want to showcase on campus each year. The milkshakes are something that campus looks forward to every year as well to see what flavor it is that you guys share at College Royal. Again, those also sell out really quickly, so they're not always easy for everyone to get, but it is really fun to see what you come up with. So thank you for sharing more about College Royal. Same thing for you, Umar. What do you like most about your program?
On top of all the other things that were spoken about, I would just say also the interactiveness of the courses. So many times the professors are very friendly. You can go up to them and ask them. They encourage you to ask them. And for so many of the courses, I'm still in third year, but so many of the courses that are taught, so many of the professors have such a rich experience, and every time they're conducting their lectures, they will always connect it to the experience they had in the industry, and this allows you also to visually see this. And also the labs, the different labs in the food science program. I was doing a course called food processing, and so many of the labs really tell you or allow you to understand more of the theoretical and experiential part of your program. So this is very nice, but all in all, it's just the interactiveness, the friendliness of the professors, and just the environment.
Yeah, food science really is a close-knit community of people. I find that it is a smaller major within the Bachelor of Science program. And I find that people that I know in the program are often very close-knit and very close with their peers that are in the same year as them or even in other years within the same program. You all work together so well, and the professors are all so involved and so caring about and supportive about your studies. So it is a really nice environment within the food science program as well. I want to wind down a little bit. There's not many questions coming in the Q&A anymore. So if there's any final questions you guys want to put as attendees, feel free to pop those in the Q&A. But we are going to ask one final question for now to our student panelists here as well today. And that is, what advice do you have for future students coming to the University of Guelph? It's always a fun question that I like to ask our panelists. And we'll start with you, Wamipa.
And I feel like as a first year students, you probably hear about this a lot about how people tell you to really get connected, try to do more things. And I know this is like scary at the beginning. You're in a new place, you're in a new country, new program, um new university. It can be very scary, but I think I would like to tell like if I can tell myself in my first year, I'd say everyone is experiencing the same things as you. It's new to everyone, so it's okay to like learn and take things slowly and learn everything like on the way. We all have to start somewhere, so it's also very nice to have like your foot in, and um when you're more experienced with everything will work out.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good advice. Everyone is in the same boat, so you're not alone in the experience, and there are people to lean on for support, as well as resources and your community, of course, as well. Umar, same question for you. What advice do you have for future students?
The advice I'd have for future students is just being open to different opportunities and experiences. So many of us, I think we traveled so many hours from our home country, so it's best when you come here, just try different things, try the different activities. There's so many different activities that you can find, ranging from sports to extracurriculars. So the best thing is just being open, trying different things, and yeah.
And getting to find your people in your community, that's a key piece of doing different things. Glad you brought up intramurals as well. There are tons of different sports that students can partake in. Those intramurals exist from anything between like there's inner tube water polo and there's soccer, there's football, all of those great sports, but there's also tons of clubs on campus. So we mentioned a few of them today, but there are over 200 clubs that we have on campus. And if there's a club that you don't see that you do want to create, that's an opportunity for you as well as a student. At the beginning of every semester, we have what's called Club Day at the UC. And they have tables set up everywhere where students can kind of look at what clubs are available and join anything they see. Again, there's anything from like a specialty like livestock club or most clubs for programs as well. So there's a food science club, there's a environmental science student society. There's also Quidditch, like from Harry Potter, where people are running around on broomsticks. So there's quite literally any club you can think of on campus, and it's really fun to get involved in those things as well. Vedika, same question for you. What advice do you have for future students?
I agree with whatever Vimika and Umar said, but one thing that I think is don't be afraid to ask for help. Like it can be really daunting moving from a whole different country to a new country and adjusting here. It can be really difficult, and there are people who want to support you. Like there are many resources on campus, like academic support in the library, wellness services, where you can get in touch with like a professional and talk about your experience, and even peer mentors where you learn from your peers and like be like writing services or they can help you in your assignments. There are many resources on campus, and these resources make a huge difference in easing into university life. So don't be afraid to like access those and don't be afraid to ask for help. Even faculty, professors are always willing to help you. Like go to their office hours, ask them questions. They're always happy to have students and answer questions. We also have, there are a lot of other resources like SLGs, which are supported learning groups where you can learn with other students in your courses, ask questions to upper year students and ask them any questions that you may have. And these resources are really helpful and will make the transition to university life even easier.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you shared about the different supports and things we have on campuses for student services because those are really nice and accessible to all students that are on campus. And they're right on campus as well. So you can get to them quite easily and they're right at your door, which is a really nice thing as well. I'm gonna share my screen again and go through some contact info because as we're gonna wind down a little bit more. Just give me 2 seconds. There we go. Okay, so on the screen here is some contact information. So if there's anyone that has future or questions about the programs we talked about today, or any of the programs that were listed on the screen earlier from the OAC, you can feel free to contact me. My contact info is there as well as Joe's. And then you can also follow us on Instagram. We are on at U of G at U of Guelph OAC, and then also on Facebook and X as well. If there's any admissions questions, feel free to contact admissions directly. There's also an international email address that I'm sure was shared in the welcome session with you as well. And then if there's any questions about Ridgetown or associate diplomas, which I know was not the focus area for today, but there's a contact information for you to submit your questions there as well. And that concludes our presentation portion today and our panel. I see there's a couple new questions that did come in, so I want to just make sure we address those before we close out today. So someone's asked, how big is the campus and how hard or easy is it to get around between classes and places? Any of our student panelists want to answer this question? Wiwipa?
Yes, I think that the campus is big, but I'd say like you can walk from one end of the campus to the other in about 15 minutes, and a lot of classes are pretty close. If you are in food science, most of your classes are not going to be too far apart. It will probably be like around like 10 minutes walks, and that like helps you get from classes to classes very quickly.
And there are tons of food places on campus too, so there's tons of both for full food snacks, coffee shops, cafes, all of those things really close to different buildings on campus too. They're not very far spread out, honestly. You can walk a minute and you'll find another food place. There's so much food on campus. Another fun little question I'd like to ask our panelists quite often too is what's your favorite food on campus or food place? Because this is just we're well known for our campus food. It's rated #1 in Canada. So, Vedika, do you want to share your favorite food on campus?
I really like Creelman waffles. So Creelman is another like food place on our campus. It's right next to Johnson Green. And the waffles is really good. You get to pick your toppings. It's my favorite. It's a little bit of an indulgent snack, but I really like it.
And they smell so good when you walk into Creelman, you smell the waffles right away. They're delicious. Umar, same question for you.
For me, it's more of the UC Hall chef, food eatery place, particularly the burrito bowls. I usually used to eat those in my first year and all. They're very nutritious and it's a really good to-go lunch that you can take. Yeah.
Also one of my favorite things as well because there's tons of different nutrients packed into there, so they're really good. And Vedika, you had your hands up.
Another place that I really like is Infusion, also in the University Center. They usually have international menus and international foods throughout the week. Sometimes it's like Caribbean inspired, Jamaican inspired, African inspired, Indian inspired. So there are different menus. So it really makes you feel at home when you have that food. So another favorite spot on campus.
Awesome. And Lumipa?
And since Verga and Ware have already mentioned Creelman and UC, which is like one of the two my favorite places, I think this other place would be very useful for first year student, and it's more underrated and not a lot of people knows about it. It's the Brass Taps, and I think it'd be useful because it stays open for a lot later than other places. So if you need like a midnight snack, or if you wanted to stay late on campus and you need to grab something to eat, Brass Taps will be open. And it also have like a lot of spaces. You can also come in like throughout the day, and there's a lot of spaces for you to just sit, study, and there's also a lot of fun events there all the time, like trivia night. So it's also like a great place to grab food and hang out.
Absolutely it is. I love Brass Taps. My favorite place on campus for food is Bullring, it actually is an old building from campus that was for cattle sales back in history. So it is actually like a round building on campus, but it has some of my favorite food on campus. It is student run, so it's all students that work there. And there's like a kind of mix between tables and couches as well. So if you want to just go find somewhere comfortable to sit down and hang out with your friends and study while you eat, the Bull Ring is really cozy for that. And then there's also events like when we mentioned for Brass Taps, but there's similar events at Bull Ring. There's open mic nights that take place there, and some really cool, like fun things that are just run by students. So that's another nice place on campus to go and grab some food. So that concludes, I think, all the questions we have today. I think there's no more questions in the Q&A currently, so we are going to end things off. But thank you so much to our panelists for being part of today's event. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and experience here as an international student. It's really great to hear from you specifically. And thank you to all of our attendees for attending this morning's event. And we hope to see you on campus in the future. Again, if anyone has questions in the future, please feel free to always reach out to us. We'll connect you to the people that have the right answers for you as well. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.